In this episode of the Escape to Eastern Ontario podcast, Rob Plumbley tells us about Lennox and Addington's Naturally L&A initiative. L&A has become a mecca for geocachers, stargazers, mountain bikers, or anyone who's just looking to unwind in the pristine wilderness of the Addington Highlands. Like everything that happens in L&A, the community development has done some fascinating and innovative work in making Lennox and Addington a destination you and your family will want to visit every year. There's always a new experience waiting in L&A. This is the Escape to Eastern Ontario podcast. So I'm here with Rob Plumbley at the County of Lennox and Addington, and Rob Plumbley is responsible for the promotion of tourism inside of the county. And Rob's going to be helping us understand some of the hidden gems and interesting destinations that the county has developed in partnership with local destinations, and also created, spontaneously with their own initiatives. How are you doing today, Rob?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Good. Now, Rob is shy, so we're going to be really gentle with him today. But Buddy has a wealth of information here to share with us, so we're looking forward to this. So first of all, what is it that you do here from day to day, Rob?
Well, the County of Lennox and Addington, we've recently taken on the destination marketing role for L&A. So about 18 months ago, we began responsibility for that. So we've created a new brand. We do a lot of online marketing for attractions, events, destinations within L&A. And then have some products of our own that we kind of push to some niche markets as well.
Okay, so it's a balance of promoting things that are already here, maybe that are run privately, and also developing your own destinations.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay, so what are some of these destinations that you guys are developing? Or?
Yeah, well, we have some of the big ones that we've developed in the past number of years. We really try and focus on niche things that we may have that other communities may not have, create a bit of an advantage for us that way. So in 2011 we began promoting dark sky tourism. It all started in, I believe it was 2011. A gentleman came into our office with a light pollution map, pointed on the map, which is right on County Road 41, saying that this little pocket here is the most southerly dark sky location in the province. It was a spot where he would pull over and take night sky photography, and it was an old, I guess you would call it a spot where construction vehicles parked when they redid County Road 41 a number of years ago. So it was flat, kind of open. And this gentleman happened to be Terrence Dickinson, who was the editor of Sky News magazine.
Oh, wow. And
he was a resident here of L&A for 40 plus years, still lives here. So it didn't take a lot of convincing for us. So we were able to build a little viewing platform, put some signage out, and some parking, and kind of never look back. It's become a really popular destination for people, particularly in the more urban centers that don't usually. Well, they can see the moon and maybe a star or two, right. And that's basically
a helicopter once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's basically how it goes. So we have monthly events up at the dark sky viewing area from May through September, and they become extremely popular from the urban areas, and we get a lot of people coming, spending the nights and then exploring the community during the day as well.
So what goes on at one of these events?
Well, we have a gentleman by the name of Joe Gilker. He's from the Kingston area. He won an astrophotography contest that we put on a few years ago. We kind of twisted his arm a little bit to maybe become the kind of the spokesperson and the kind of the tour guide for us. So he has a laser pointer, points out some constellations. Talks a little bit about the sky and what some of the objects are at a particular time of year out there. So he does that. We have another gentleman Tim Trenadu, who has a telescope. Him and Joe have telescopes, and they point at various celestial objects that are up in the sky. And yeah, it's been very, very popular, and yeah, we get to capacity crowds enough that we had to build additional parking up there last year. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's very, very successful, and it's been very successful on non-event days too. We've had logbooks, guest books that have been filled quite readily from people all over the world. So it's kind of pretty cool.
As a personal endorsement, I live kind of close to that area.
Yes.
And for my city friends who come and stand on our deck, you haven't seen the sky until you've seen it in one of these areas that's not affected by light pollution. It's a life-changing experience.
Yeah, well, it sure is. We had there's been times when I've been kind of helping direct traffic because it gets dark up there, and there's no lights directing you in because it would kind of defeat the purpose a bit. But we've had people from Toronto get out of the car and look up and actually start crying, which is kind of a pretty cool experience because they've never seen anything like that before. So I kind of took it for granted myself. I live here in Napanee, and I thought it was dark at the end of my driveway, but I grew up in Newburgh and saw a sky full of stars. But even just the 40 kilometers north of where I live now, it really does make a difference. So
just the not to overemphasize this, but just the distinction of the Milky Way arm across the sky, it rivets you to the floor when you see it.
It's really something. And I actually know what the Milky Way is now, which I didn't know before going to all
there
these
you
events.
go.
Yeah,
there you go. Awesome. So what other locations are you promoting these days?
Well, I'll just mention a couple more. We've had the luxury of the last 12 to 15 years or so, every time the county resurfaces a county road, they extend the shoulders by 1.5 meters, right. Minimum. So we've kind of had from a tourism standpoint, we've created some road cycling routes, a dozen different loops that are going to take advantage of this with a little bit more shoulder, a little bit safer for cyclists. And
how big are these loops?
They're anywhere from 15 to there's the one up in Addington Highlands is 102 kilometers. So varying lengths and degrees of difficulty. We've gotten a lot of cycling clubs come in and spend 2 or 3 or more days here in L&A, kind of using, in a lot of instances, Napanee kind of as the hub, and then cycling a loop, grabbing some lunch, doing another loop, and either going on their way or experiencing some restaurants and doing different things too. So it's been very successful.
So we can, as a cyclist, you can look at the Naturally L&A website and see where those loops are, and check them out with Google Street View.
Yeah, we have downloadable itineraries that give you the turn-by-turn directions, kind of where some of the local attractions are. Different places to see and do while you're out on your bike as well. So no, they've been quite popular. We actually started one of the things that we found kind of similar to the dark sky viewing area and the events that we host is that events are a real good way to showcase some of the things that are available to do here year round. So in 2016 we introduced the Discover L&A ride, which was it's a 58-kilometer ride using quite a few of the roads that are available on the County Trails Network. It starts and ends at McKinnon Brothers Brewing Company in Bath, which a lot of people find fun, and we have 6 different rest stops that showcase local L&A county-made products. There's a halfway points at Bergeron Estate Winery in Adolphus Town, so there's pizza and sandwiches and different things available there, and then music along the way, and there's usually a fun band at the end of the ride that people can have a complimentary glass of McKinnon Brothers beer at the end, and
awesome.
It's been we expected it to be popular, but this year we're hoping for more than 400 riders for this event too. So that's a good way for us to kind of promote what we have, in addition to some online marketing, different things that we do for that as well. So.
Right. And so what do you mean by riders? Just to be clear, are we?
Oh, just road cyclists.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have the first year we had it, I was hoping for 100 maybe 125 people, and we ended up with 275, I think, for our first year event, which is a lot when you're expecting a little.
Right.
So we've continued to grow. Last year we had just a shade under 400, so we're hoping for another for 400 or a few more than that this year.
And you do that just the once, or is there a couple?
It's one event a year. Yep,
okay.
Yep. And it's a good fall event, and McKinnon Brothers loves it, and they as do all the other rest stops along the way as well.
Yeah, I keep hearing about McKinnon Brothers. I need to get around to meeting these guys.
It's a pretty cool spot. Yeah, for sure it is. Yeah.
There you go. So what else is going on there?
I guess with just to kind of piggyback on the cycling, we've developed some longer motorcycle loops as well that are available for download on our website too. That's kind of where it goes from there, and we saw the success on the cycling side. But one of the things that we found, we used to go to a number of cycling shows every winter to kind of promote our road cycling routes, and probably about 50% of the people, we couldn't really help them because they were looking for off-road cycling. So we do have a couple rail trails in the area and just outside the region as well. But we do have the county forest, which is it's a managed forest that the county owns. There's about 1,000 acres up in Addington highlands. So this year we actually just broke ground earlier this spring on adding about 10 kilometers worth of mountain bike trail within the county forest system. So that caters to kind of the regional audience. Bon Echo Provincial Park is about 20 minutes from there.
Okay.
They're not actually allowed to use mountain bikes on their trails. So we've got a good relationship with the park superintendent for Bon Echo. He's a mountain biker himself, so he's gonna be promoting that because it helps with them on overnight stays and day trips, and it'll be a good partnership that we can kind of tap in on Bon Echo and their 200,000 plus visitors that they get every year. So it should be a fun one, and we hope to launch by early fall of 2019 officially to open it up.
Oh, fantastic. Will there be a soft launch before that, or?
Yeah, we're hoping to have everything good to go for the most part by beginning of August, and kind of test it out and continue to build on it. We're lucky. We have a member of our economic development coalition. He's a mountain biker, retired teacher who used to go to Vermont every summer and build trail.
Oh, wow.
In the mountains and the hills there. So we've got him on board, and he's real keen, and he's excited because once it's all finished, he's going to have some places really close to ride as well. So he's been a huge help to us, a good technical support because I don't mountain bike, so it's good to have that side of things for sure.
I guess that begs the question: what level of expertise as a mountain biker do you have to hit those trails?
Well, I was out there with our GIS guy a couple weeks ago with my very old squeaky mountain bike, and I was able to do it okay. I was tuckered right out by the end of it, but it's
no kidding.
I think they're pretty. These ones here are our first track of land is relatively flat. There's a few hilly spots and some stuff to be able to do some jumps and some tricks and stuff like that. The way the plan is right now is that every couple of years we hope to be able to go to another swath of land. The second area, it's a little bit more remote. The spot we chose for this one has parking very close by, and there's restroom facilities close by at the municipal office. So there was a lot less for us to do on that side of things. The second area is about 5 kilometers south of this spot, which is available through just on the road, which is very seldom traveled. But it's a beautiful spot. There's a lot of up and downs. It actually backs onto Scutamata River. It's a beauty spot. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting that started in 2021, so that we can have another. Really, it's a beautiful spot. If you've ever been up that way, it's really something. So
it's all Canadian Shield up there. That's why I suggest if if you're thinking about, if you're on the fence about going up to the Highlands, do yourself a favor and at least do the Google Street View thing, because the Canadian Shield and the ruggedness and the untouched wilderness up there, it's breathtaking.
Yeah, it really is something to see, and it's a relatively unexplored area. So depending on where you are, you may not have experienced something like this before. It's really something that's really nice spot for sure.
And there's a couple of nice restaurants along County Road 41 too.
Yes, yep, for sure.
So
yeah.
you're not completely when you're worn out from a day of mountain biking or walking.
Yeah.
Actually, tell me about those. What
the restaurants?
Yes.
Well, two of the big ones that one that's closest to the dark sky viewing area is the Lakeview Hotel, the Lakeview Tavern, excuse me. And it's been around. It's been on the lake for well over 100 years, and it's a pretty cool little spot, and the beverages are cold, but the food's really good. And it's about 10 kilometers from the dark sky viewing area. There's a number of spots in Northbrook and Caladar that are great to eat if you're up near Flinton or even going to Bon Echo. We have there's a brand new spot right on Highway 7 called Joji's Cafe, and it's a nice little spot, and it's a very busy spot. It's right across the road from anybody that's been to Caladar knows where the Caladar Shell is, the gas station there. In Northbrook, there's a number of spots. Really popular spot in the summer, well, year round really, is it's called Addison's Restaurant. It's a great place to eat as well, and there's quite a few of them up that way for sure.
These are all, for the most part, family-run businesses, so there's a real down-home feel there. But I find when I go up there, even though I live within 25 miles of these places, I feel like I'm instantly on vacation when I walk through the door, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's the way we find it too. My family and I, we do a lot of tent camping in the summer, and we never go to the same place in consecutive years, with the exception of Bon Echo. Bon Echo is kind of our annual spot that we go to every year, and it's just it's only an hour and 40 minutes from my front door, but it's just has a kind of a feel to it that you just instantly relax, and it's a beautiful spot, and it's a busy spot, but you wouldn't know it. I think there's over 500 campsites at Bon Echo, and about 40 kilometers worth of trail there, yeah, once you're there, you feel like you're in the wilderness, and just a great place to refresh for sure.
It's got kind of a Yosemite vibe to it, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. Never been there, but I'm assuming it's got that type of feel as well.
There you go. And they have an annual art show in Bon Echo as well.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's usually the third weekend of July, and this year I just happen to know that they're making a few changes, a little bit more entertainment there too. So it's a very busy spot, and they get thousands of people during that weekend that come up and see some of the great artwork from the region and elsewhere as well. So their programming schedule at Bon Echo, even if you're just up there for a day trip, it's really something going on all the time, and they've got a nice little amphitheater there, and it's a great spot for sure.
And they have a reservation system, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's part of the Ontario Parks reservation system, and they have they're quite booked during the weekends in the summer. If you can get out there during the weekday, last I checked, there were still sites available, but even shoulder season camping up there, it's nice too. They're open from, I think, the week before the May long weekend right up until I think the 3rd or 4th week of October, the week after Thanksgiving. So it's if you've never been there before, I strongly suggest you consider it, because it really is a nice spot.
Do they still do the petroglyph tours up there?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have 2 different tours. There's the Wanderer boat tour, and then there's also the Mugwump ferry that takes you over to the rock, and you can hike the clifftop trail, and it's not that long, but it's obvious it's quite, you climb a lot of steps to get to the top, that's for sure.
Okay. There you go.
So, whether or not
so bring your 8535 is the message there.
Yeah, for afterwards.
What's
sure.
What's a petroglyph for the uninitiated listeners?
It is.
It's going to be on the midterm. You may as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a lot of Aboriginal drawings that have been put on the Mazenal Rock, and I don't know a lot about the technical side of things and a lot of the story behind it, but right. I think that the Mazenal was a real meeting place for different areas throughout the year. And there's also there's that. There's also Walt Whitman poem that's been etched into the wall or into the side of the rock as well up there. So yeah, their website explains it very, very well, much better than I just did. That's
well,
for sure.
Good. And we appreciate you not spoiling the surprise for us, Rob. Yeah. So you guys are still a mecca for geocaching in Ontario, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we have. We've kind of become over the last 7 or 8 years the go-to place for geocachers in Canada. We have over 1,500 geocaches, and I guess I'll step back for people that don't know what geocaching is. It's a kind of like a high-tech scavenger hunt using GPS and smartphone coordinates, and you use this billion-dollar technology to find Tupperware in the woods, I guess is the easiest way to say it. But it's a kind of a neat system where people hide things in they're all accessed through GPS. You find them at the coordinates, and then you basically share your story online. So it's really become something here in L&A. We have two great volunteers, Joe and Teresa Tisdale, who are very avid geocachers. They help us create an event every August, the Discover L&A County geocaching event. It's the largest geocaching event in the country. We get over 1,000 people come wow. every year from all over the world, literally. Last year, I think we had 10 different U.S. states represented, 7 provinces, and we had people from Europe, from Great Britain and France and far away as New Zealand last year. So it's really become something, and it's become an annual event for a lot of families. It kind of becomes their go-to event every year, and it's fun, and you can when the event's happening because there's a lot of people walking around staring at the phone.
Unmistakable.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's a good strategy for parents who are trying to get their children off their screens and into the wilderness. They just let them keep the screen. Yeah, and go outside and go find something. Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely a 3-season thing for us. Sometimes 4. If it's basically when there's no snow on the ground, we get notifications when anyone finds the geocaches that we've placed ourselves. So neat.
It's neat to be able to see something like that's not a lot of people know about that are interested in that type of thing, but the people that are interested in it definitely know where we are and come and visit us quite often.
So what other events are coming up there, park events and things like that?
Well, we have this year we actually launched called an activation program, tourism activation program. So we had $20,000 in funding that we made available to L&A County businesses and organizations for new product development or new or enhanced events. So we're just in the process of finalizing 11 different businesses and events to get this funding through the 2019 season. We hope that it'll become an annual thing. We're lucky to have supportive county council that was able to allot some dollars like this to us, and we had basically $5,000 per partner municipality. So each municipality, Addington, Highlands, Stone Mills, Greater Napanee, and Loyalist each had $5,000 awarded to businesses within to create new product or events for sure.
Right. So I had someone tried to explain this to me, and I think they did a really good job. But so one of the things is to kind of create a small business or restaurant equivalent to, say, a gallery tour. Just come up with inventive ways to bring different retail or restaurant or other areas together into some sort of a collaborative community promotion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess a good example. There's an annual event in Newburgh every year called the Art Among the Ruins. It's an art show set among the 19th century, the ruins of a 19th century factory right on the Napanee River.
Okay.
Really beautiful spot, kind of a very, very unique place that hosts it. One of the things, it's in a rural community, and the restaurants that are in the area are swamped because there's over 10,000 people that come to this event.
Are you
every
kidding?
year. Yeah, it's a big one.
Wow.
So someone put in an application in partnership with the art show to do a local food lunch. So there'll be I think they've used 4 or 5 different businesses that create either greens or baked goods or the Quinn's Meats, for example, and Yarkirk is supplying the meat for it.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what we were hoping for. Just something that would be an event enhancement that it's going to help showcase some local businesses and add to an event that needed it. So.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. There's a lot of enthusiasm in the community for developing ideas like that. We have a lot of imagination and energy, don't we?
We do, yeah, for sure. It's a unique community here in Eastern Ontario, and there's definitely lots going on. There's a lot of smart folks that are putting a lot of different events and things together, and we're starting to really see something good here. That's for sure.
So how about what would you tell someone who's thinking of starting a destination business in this area? What are the key advantages to them?
Well, I think that we for one thing, we're definitely here to help. We have a business coaching program here at the county that can sit down with you and go over, and we have a pretty good grasp of what's going on here and who you can talk to make something work. I think we're kind of in a key market. We're very close to the city of Kingston, the Quinte region as well. We have well, as of within the next couple of weeks, we'll have another hotel that's open here that can cater to people as well. Yeah, there's opportunity. We really focus on the nature side of things, promoting that here at the county level, but we have a lot of history here as well, which we promote as well, yeah, whatever we can do to assist, we'd be happy to sit down with anyone and brainstorm ideas, and hopefully there'd be a fit for sure.
Great. My understanding too from one of the real estate agents who operates in the area, who specializes in the cottage side of things, is that Lennox and Addington, particularly the Highlands, is one of the kind of under-recognized real estate opportunities for people who are looking for vacation property.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of lakes here in L&A, particularly up north, like you said, in Addington Highlands, and yeah, it's gone from a lot of rental properties back 20-30 years ago to a lot of people that have converted those into almost year-round homes, and I think that the price is right in a lot of ways for people that are interested in doing that as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise for people coming from Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal is the incredible difference in price in this area, and you can't beat the view.
No, for sure, and it's I think it's people can sell their homes or their condos in Toronto and like literally buy a home and a cottage and a nice fancy car to get you from place to place as well with the same price. So yeah, we're lucky here, and we've kind of we have a balance of both worlds, being close to those places, but having the kind of the rural lifestyle that a lot of people are looking for sure.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for taking the time to take us on this journey. Mm-hmm. And how can people find out more about the Lennox and Addington tourism?
Yeah, well, if you just search up naturallyla.ca, or you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram too, and yeah, we'd be happy to walk you through some good places to visit, and if you're interested in starting a business here, we'd love to chat with you as well.